This is how it's done. There's no hiding the fact that we do wing it occasionally in the office. Well, there you are. Welcome to the Saturday morning live podcast. I'm going to try and move. Let's get the microphone over here. I'm just going to move that over maybe a little bit closer so you can actually see me. There we go. There we are. Maybe some people don't want to see me. We are going to shut this window over here simply because we don't want the neighbours to hear. Okay, there we go. All done. Well, there you are. Welcome to Saturday morning podcast, live as regular as usual. We are not going to let you down whatsoever. We're always going to be here. We're here for you, the consumer, the contractor, and whoever else that you may be. Good morning, Andrew Ashford. Good morning. Nice to see you. John Ward. Good morning, John and Alison. John Ward says, say hi to John. There we are. She's shy. She's shy. There you go, John. Hey, look, John, thanks very much. Good morning, Andrew. If I can have some thumbs up as you join, and if you can say who you are, where you're from, and what you're doing. But what? Can you just turn the light back on? No, turn it off, I think. Turn it off. I don't know if it's better with the light. Turn it off. Yeah. No, turn it back on. There we go. There we go. We'll get there eventually. We've got 10 live viewers. We've got 3 thumbs up. Thanks very much. Lots to talk about. Lots of things going on in the landscaping world. And we want to hear from you what you've been doing this week. It's not about me. It's about you. Okay? It's all about you. It's all about the community and what we're building on here. Got to say big thanks to... somebody just sent me a message and they were swearing. Not at me. I might add, not at me. Just got to say, massive thanks to John Ward. John, I really apologise for, there we are, solid-based contractors, John Ward. What a nice guy. You can tell in what he writes. There's a big thing at the moment is when you get the message out, write what you talk. And there's no doubt about it. What you actually see with John when he's talking and he's commenting on these live streams, he's just a decent guy. And I heard that the other day. We had a conversation, and unfortunately, I cut John short accidentally. It was accidentally. Let's make sure we got the logo in the back there. We want to see the Green Top Landscapes logo. Before we go any further, we got to say, as usual, because they are there to support us. Alison's joined. There she goes. Got to say that this live podcast is sponsored or supported, I should say rather, by ITS, the tool people. And here it is. This is their new extended catalogue, okay? They're not just sending these out no more to everyone simply because it's a bigger catalogue. It's more money to send out. But if you do place an order with ITS, you'll be able to get, they will pack a, here we go. They will, you're putting me off my live stream.
I know, but your microphone, you can't hear you very well.
Oh, they can hear me. I'm shouting. You can get your new extended brochure with ITS. And don't forget, mind, the Johnyboy code is still working. Johnyboy code, you can put Johnyboy or you can put Johnny Truck. The Johnyboy code, just Johnyboy, is basically you'll get a free gift if you put in the Johnyboy code. If you put in Johnny Truck, if you're spending over £100, up to £50, you get your free gift with Johnyboy, and over £100, you get your free remote control truck. She's always putting the truck away, but here it is. I'm going to get it out. I'm going to show you. Do you know, I put it in because Rocco, my dog, absolutely tears it apart. There it is. There's the remote control truck that you can actually get. And I've got all the labels, all the stickers of all the brands. Ryobi, Festool, Milwaukee, Ekoki. Have anybody of you heard of Ekoki? They do those nail guns. It's all on here. Let me have a... I'm going to read them out. I'm going to get my glasses on because we've got to have a look at all the amounts of tools that are out there. I just don't... honest, wouldn't it be nice... Wouldn't it be nice if we could have a day as a competition and go up to ITS for a day and take some contractors, go into their vault, their tool vault, and go and have a look at those tools, go and have a look at some demonstrations, have a bacon sandwich, a cup of tea, whatever you like. It'd be absolutely brilliant. Just going to say hello to everybody as they're joining there now. We've got Andrew Ashford says, from Porcelain, midway through my garden project. Andrew, we want to see it. I want to see what your garden project is looking like. John Ward says, good morning. You're all looking forward to relaxing bank holiday. Yeah, we will do once this live stream's over, John. Alison's joking there. Colin Urquhart says, morning, would you mind explaining more about the Lee mix you put on your Type 1? Absolutely. We'll get on to that now in a moment. Colin, bear with me. Gareth Williams from Manchester Gardens and Landscapes. Morning, Johnny lad, it says Gareth. Brilliant. Good to see you on here, Gareth. I'm so glad that we've got some regular callers. Billy Wickens. Good morning, Billy. How are you, buddy? Alison's on there. Andrew Ashford says, the sandstone arrived Stonecraft this week, from Stonecraft this week, and it's lovely. Dave, the delivery driver, did a great job of getting around some narrow streets. Highly recommended. Brilliant. I love that. When Andrews talks about the driver and what he done for him as a service, went probably beyond the Call of Duty. Jason Keaton says, Johnyboy, your videos are great. Help, fair play. Look, Jason, it's not just about me. There is information on this live stream now with the quality of talented of guys that actually join this live stream now, and they actually look at it after. But just going through the tools, I put these on just to remind us. We got JCB, Trend. I'm not sure what Trend is. I know the Apache is the clothing, I think. Vaunt, you got the Vaunt wheelbarrows, the Makita, the Akoki, the Stanley, Scruff Clothings, Ryobi, Festool, Milwaukee, Dickies, Bosch, E-Swing. We know those S-Wing hammers. And if you actually got an S-Wing hammer, if you're in the trade, I think it's worth investing into an S-Wing hammer, because you will look the part. We've got the Bosch, the Irwin. They're all on there. They're all on. So you can get this. If you place your order, okay, if you place your order over £100, you get a free truck, but you must put the Johnyboy truck in capital. Trend is woodworking tools. Thank you, Colin. This is what it's about. I didn't know. Thank you very much. John Wood says, office day, Alison, then going walking with the dog. Just relax before the madness. That is work starts Tuesday. Yeah, absolutely. I get you, John. Look, listen, we got to say a big thank you to ITS. For many, many years, I've been going on and barking about this and going on about the industry and about suppliers and manufacturers being more engaging. And I was talking to John Ward about this and how much training and involvement that some of these companies have. And to be honest, you probably, some of you have been on training courses and you feel that you're having good service, but I think on a whole, it's not good at all. There's not a huge amount of engagement and education and product knowledge. And we're going to go on about this for weeks in, weeks out, solely because of the people that join this live stream, or if they watch this later on. So we just need to keep repeating this story. We've had 4 likes at the moment. Ryan Boots has joined us. Ryan Boots has just joined us. Ryan, I called you this morning. Guys, Simon Walsh is on here. Good morning, Si. How's it going, mate? Ryan's just joined us. Ryan is the chemist. There's no ifs or buts about it. That's what he does. Alison, I'm going to show you a sample I've got. Would you mind? A sample that Ryan and Rebecca and Rob at Elemental has produced for the porcelain paving industry and for landscapers when you're sealing porcelain. Here it is. I'm going to plug them now. Ryan was on a live stream a little while ago. We are going to do, Clive Drummond, good morning, Clive. We are going to do a lot more on this. Well, there it is. That is the first approved sample from Ryan Boots, and it is an aqueous porcelain sealer. So basically a water-based sealer for porcelain. And you're going to say, I don't need to seal porcelain. That's right. I don't need to seal porcelain because it's maintenance free. Well, I can assure you nothing's maintenance free. Like your windows, you clean your windows on a regular basis. If you don't, you should do. Windows and glass have micro pores. They get dirty. It's almost like polishing your favorite Ferrari, if you've got an, or your Lamborghini, they need to be polished, they need to be maintained. And those micro pores that are in them, they get dirty. But the most important thing, in my opinion, is it's the grout system. In this country where we have great precipitation, we have lots and lots of rain, I need to slow down. Ian Powers joined us. Morning all day trying to source materials that are suddenly unavailable on 2 projects we are currently building. What a nightmare. I am going to read back other people's comments in a minute. Good to see Ian Power, my mate. Ian really told me about the perfect mix, okay, which is 5 sharp, 1 cement. So this little product, so for me, without a doubt, I'm always digressing. It's just what I do. Let's just slow down a minute. No, let's get back on with it because I want to talk to you. So this little beauty here, right, is going to be the answer to your cementitious grout not turning green. We see it on a regular basis. Ryan on here was a customer of mine, and since I finished the job, he's pleased with it. We had one slab that had a little bit of lipping, which we're going to take care of, Ryan. But Ryan's grouting system went green because it's a cementitious grout. I'm going to read people's comments now because I've got to try and catch up before we move on. Let's just have a little look now. Go back. Ryan's apologised. We've got Kent Gardening and Tree Surgery. There we are. I would miss you, bud. Good morning all. Hello, Johnny. I'm a new subscriber here. I've been lurking on Facebook group and watching the videos. James from Kent Gardening and Tree Surgery. I can't read the rest of it. Let's go out of there now. Ryan Boots has apologised. Ian Powers joined us. Ian's a mate of mine, just to let you know. Clive Drum's a mate of mine. John Ward is a mate of mine as well now. Too right, John. People selling their product and not best place to tell you their pitfalls in their product. It's not in their interest, is it? No, it's not. They will tell you it's the best product. Do you know, you need to read the words, what John is telling you. They'll all tell you that their products are good, okay? Why wouldn't they? Because they want your money. So important. This is why you tell your customers that you are good, because you want their money. There's nothing wrong with wanting people's money. It is absolutely healthy. It's when it's not healthy is when you're wearing a balaclava, okay? Product knowledge is key. It's so important that we share our knowledge, all of us, like we're doing now, and this is what the industry needs to do. And more than often, when you go and buy these products in the builders merchants or any of those suppliers, Al, we've got a call coming in. I don't know if this is meant for us or what.
I don't know.
Should we answer it just for a laugh?
Cool.
Yes, just answer it. We don't know if this is called. We're going to answer it. Hello?
I'm the Porcelain at your gate. I got a pass up here.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, just be there now. Hey, see you in a minute, bud. We'll be out there now.
Alright, thank you, mate.
Bye. There you are. What great service. Somebody calling up and saying that we got a parcel. That was the first caller we've had this morning. If you want to give us a call this morning, you can. We'll get the number up in a moment. Alison will get it up on screen for you. But just to go back to where we were, that was great. That was only on the Saturday morning podcast. Is it PPI? Yeah, it might be. Just going to read what somebody else actually said there. Garden Landscape Solutions. John had a customer contact me off after they had some very bad work done by another company. The company went bust and they set up a new company overnight. Any advice I can pass on to the customer? Well, do you know what I'm going to do? I am going to get Alison in on this one because that is really, really interesting. My main thank you to you is for the videos on the slurry on the back of the sandstone paving. It was taught Hadlow College back in 97 to 2001, and it was still mostly dot still we're getting back into. Do you know, that's interesting. That is really interesting. Hadlow College. Landscaping now, and we're on a paving job this week. It's so good to learn the new skills. Yeah, absolutely. Do you know, I can honestly say is I'm learning so much off you guys out there. It's mind-blowing. I mean, just with what we're actually having on here. Andrew Ashwood says, thought it might be an electrician about the power cut. Well, Andrew, I sorted the power out. That was quite funny. But listen, going back to this now, the new name of this product is called Elements, okay? It's produced by a company called Elemental, okay? Ryan, Rebecca, and Rob have produced this product weeks, in fact, months and months. And if you think, Ryan, and you look back, we were looking and talking to you about this probably 18 months ago now. Maybe, I don't know. It's mad. It's absolutely mad. So the new product is called Elements, and people are going to say, do we need to seal porcelain? Well, in my opinion, my humble opinion, yes, we do. What we're going to try and do, it's not going to eradicate all the problems, the cleaning problems, because it just won't do it, because you just got to keep on top of it. But it's going to reduce it, okay? It's going to reduce the maintenance. You're not going to get the greening that you would do if you never sealed your patio. I've spoke to Ryan, and Ryan's kindly going to donate me the first bottle, I think, and we're going to be sealing Ron and Margaret's porcelain patio. But the thing that I was saying to Ryan, I'm dying to read what people say, but I just got to say this. The thing that I was saying to Ryan, you've got to try and listen to this now and take it on board. The thing I was saying to Ryan about the sealers, once you apply it, you don't know if it's working, do you? You won't know if it's working because you won't see it going green or if it's staying clean. Because when our patios go green, it's a gradual process. All of a sudden, we go out there one day and we say, hey, look, this needs cleaning. And the more and greater porosity that you have in your cementatious grouts, the more sealing that you need to do. Okay, but it does need sealing. So what I'm going to do for Ryan, Rob, and Rebecca, it just rolls off my tongue. What we're going to be doing is I'm going to be putting some samples together of a grouted system. I'm going to use any old set. Maybe I won't even say what I'm going to use, but there's ones like Bow and Mapai and Easy Joint and Flow Point that are out there. Easy Grout, I should say, not Easy Joint. So what we're going to do, we're going to come up with a few samples. We're going to leave one that's not sealed, and we're going to seal the other. That's where we're going to start. And the only way that we're going to do it is through testing. Ryan Boots says sealing sandstones is extremely important for easy maintenance. Just go back and read what people actually say there. We are learning, that's why this channel is tops. Never stop learning. Absolutely, John Ward. Just try. People with lots of comments coming in this morning. Ken Garden says that with a client this week and they were not so keen on the idea. Can anyone tell me how long I need to leave the turf before I cut it? Shani, 78. Sean, I think what you need to do with the turf, you just need to see that first growth coming up, and then first cut should be on a high cut. I would leave it a couple of weeks, but it will depend on your what the ground is like. Do we need to seal sandstone? Yes, we do. Discussing it this week. Yeah, absolutely. Just go through, try to read these in. Would you be able to use the sealer on a sandstone patio? Yes, there is a sealer coming out on a sandstone patio. Ryan is on here now. He may be able to type a comment on there. But what works best, what I've been told, and Ryan can correct me if I'm wrong, is that a solvent-based sealer, impregnating sealer, a breathable solvent-based sealer, and that's going to allow the grout system to breathe, because you want your sandstone, you need it to breathe and to let all the molecules and everything else that's going on, it needs to breathe. You don't want to be using a topical sealer and sealing everything in completely, because it's going to block things and it's going to cause problems. Ryan says sealing sandstone is extremely important for easy maintenance. John Wood says, as per John said, always sealed. Every stone that's put down should be sealed, in my opinion, but offer the option in quoted. Absolutely. If you're a contractor, it's not a legal obligation, but it's a moral obligation to actually offer this service to your customer. You should be knowing a little bit about this. Shani says, thank you. Shani, we need to pop over and see you and bring you a little bit more soil over sometime. Garden Landscape Solutions GLS. Sadly, we are all seeing much of this, James. It's important that all customers take some time and research any contractor they are considering. Being pointed to the photos is no longer an option. We all know unscrupulous characters are stealing our photos and passing them off as their own work. That's what Alison says. She says, I strongly advise anyone looking for contractors should physically go and see the contractors and speak to the previous customer. Great point. Absolutely great point. We can talk about this many, many times. Bradley Loxton says, John, when you have space, would you consider coming out to my place in High Wycombe and spending a day? Help me just plan my patio. Too hard to explain over the phone. Happy to pay any amount. Thanks, mate. Bradley, I would love to. I would love to do. I tell you what, I'm absolutely blown away by this. Alison, are you watching what's going on here at the moment? Are you watching what's going on? Bradley, I would more than happy come down. If we have some scones and some strawberries and some cream, I'll sit down there and I would gladly draw you a concept plan, no problem at all, and come down and see you. I would love to, Bradley. Just send us an email. I would love to come up to High Wycombe and help you with that process. No problem at all. Be More Media. My boss lays Indian sandstone roughly 25mm thick on thin cow pats of muck. Obviously a solid sub-base. Thoughts? I'm not sure. John, help me out with this. Be More Media. My boss lays Indian sandstone roughly 25mm thick on thin cow pats of muck. Obviously solid sub. No, that's not good, is it? That's, I would say, correct me if I'm wrong, but that is spotlight, and that's not good at all. I tell you what, this is great. Love it. Great answer. That's all. We'll get on the case with that sealer. Andrew, yeah, absolutely. If you've got any questions, just fire us over an email, and soon we will be having, I think Ryan's going to be setting up a page, a Q&A, I think, hopefully, where people can actually send messages about this. And we've got this Q&A going on. And maybe Ryan would do a live stream with me on YouTube. Ryan says the water-based sealer has excellent performance on sandstone, but John is correct. For high performance on sandstone, solvent-based is second to none. There you go. Such a massive interest into sealers at the moment. Is there, John, tell me, John Ward, I'm bringing John Ward into this at the moment, but is there nothing worse? There's nothing worse when you've got a patio, it's finished, it's looking great, and you go back to see a client, like I did this morning. I went back to see Ron and Margaret, okay, lovely people. I took Margaret some flowers, and lucky enough, their patio is looking good. She's sitting in it, she's loving it, they're enjoying it. These are retired people that have worked hard for their money all their lives. They've worked so hard, and they pass their money over to contractors like us. We have a moral and a legal obligation to make sure that they end up with something absolutely fantastic that they can enjoy. They can go in the garden and they can just admire it and know that it's not wasted money. Do you know, I get so animated about this. It's so upsetting to see people being ripped off, and it's happening even more and more now because there's a massive influx of so-called landscapers into the landscaping industry, pretending to be landscapers. But I can tell you now, there's also some of that influx are guys that are absolutely excellent about what they do. I mean, there are some really good guys, probably better than some of the guys that are actually in the industry. Just going to get lots to talk about this morning, lots and lots to talk about. We've got to get through it. We've got to keep going with this, and we've got to keep it up with some pace and some enthusiasm and some passion and some gusto like we're doing. Let's have a little look. Everybody's talking to each other on the moment now. I'm a beginner, and no, not to spotlight. Andrew Ashford, fantastic. Bradley Loxton says, thank you, sir. Brad, listen, mate, if you want to give me a ring now, I'm going to give my number now. You can hear it now. Write this down. Grab a pen. Give me a ring on 07795 595 994. I want to speak to Bradley at some point. Simon Walsh says, gotta go, Bird. Get on with this cutting. Catch up soon. Simon is doing a job at the moment. It's great that people are coming on and spending time even though that when they're working. Do you know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see the 20 people on here now giving us a massive thumbs up. Please, come on. Let's have a thumbs up. Ryan Boots talked about that. Let's just move on, just reading some of these comments. Kent Garden and Tree Surgery. A question about the slurry. When you have a moment, do different manufacturers' slurry perform about the same? Finding a stock of specific products is difficult at the moment. Do you know, I think the thing is, Bud, I think you really, I don't even know your first name, so I do apologise. You really got to read what it says on the can. It's so important that you understand the instructions, because what happens if you should have a problem and you haven't followed the instructions on the can, they will just find every excuse under the sun not to do it. They'll find every excuse under the sun not to help you out whatsoever. We've got 8 anyway. There we go. Shani, thanks very much. Lots of work in landscaping up here, and few forms doing shocking work and getting away with it. We got the boss coming in the office now. She's having a little look at it. Exactly, clients are lazy. Remember, exactly, clients are lazy. Remember that, and think stone paving is maintenance free. Yeah, absolutely. John is absolutely right. Just makes sense. The guy talks absolutely perfect what he's saying there. Just move on now. James, thank you very much. I hope I remember the next time. Thank you, James. Andrew Ashford says, if watching on phone, hit the X to right on live chat. Then you can hit on the left hand side under the video. Brilliant. There we go. Everybody, we're all learning on here now, aren't we? How to use this live stream, isn't it? Hey guys, look, lots to talk about. We need to revisit this, and I'm going to just do a shout out to Ryan Boots now. Ryan, wouldn't it be nice? I got to say, just to let you know, Ryan's wife is having a baby very, very soon. I think it's next week. So Rebecca, if you are watching here, the best of luck. You are an absolute trooper, and we will never, ever forget how you looked after us when we did your job. So good luck with next week. I hope Ryan's looking after you. There you go. Latest bank holiday deals on ITS. Never be beaten on price. Next day delivery. If order is placed before 7 p.m. 19,500 5-star reviews on Trustpilot. We're back. I had somebody calling in then, so try not to call in at the moment because I can't. It just went frozen. Do you slurry concrete slabs too? I've got to match another pattern. Well, no. If the concrete is 50 mil thick, you can lay those just on a sharp sand and a little bit of cement. You can lay those dry because they're not going to move because they're heavy, James. So I remembered your name. Next week, how did that happen so quick? Good luck, Ryan and Rebecca. Never give money up front. Question any company that asks for that. Only pay when you see material on your job to the value of. There you are. This is why these. I'm just blown away, John. Thank you again. He's just making sense with what he's coming up with. Just going to read what John says there again. This is what this forum is about. This is what these live streams, this community is about. Never give money up front. Question any company that asks for that. Only pay when you see materials on your job to the value of. Makes sense. Absolutely makes sense. There's different ways that people go around this sort of thing, but that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Hey guys, what I was going to say, I for a long time, I've worked in the civils road building many years ago, and I did it for a long time. And one of the things I actually do, I talk about lean mixes, and somebody asked me about that this morning. Sorry to ask, John, but what gap do you prefer to sandstone for the grout? Andrew, that's a difficult one because the sandstone will vary in size. But what I think if you start quite close, then it will allow you for that little bit of play if they needed to get bigger. You don't want to end up with those big wide joints. So try and start a little bit tighter. Just dry lay like a couple of square meters out first. It won't take long, and I mean it's worth it because when you do it, and you can look at it, and you'll get a feel. You'll get a feel for the product, and you know what to do. Yeah, thanks, but I wondered as some are smooth these days. I've keyed the grinder on the back for the steps to stop them popping. I guess those could be slowed. Yeah, James, absolutely. And what you've done there is perfect because you're thinking ahead. You're thinking of safety. You're thinking of those steps, and you want to ensure that they don't pop over. Just make sure that the tread is wide enough, more than 300 mil, in my opinion. But yeah, absolutely. John Ward says, absolutely, John. Excellent point. Alison, do I have to tell you about the birds and the bed? Reference Ryan and Rebecca. It's Sand Honestone. Yeah, it's I'll tell you now, Andrew, you can get away with a tighter joint with honed stone. I wouldn't go down to a 7mm with sandstone. I would leave it at 10mm, but dry lay a few out. You still need the grout to get down inside. I'll be interested to know, Andrew, what you're actually using on there. Gareth Williams of Manchester Gardens and Landscapes, how's your knees after going up and down those steps? Sorry about that. Gareth, I can honestly say I'm absolutely fine. I am so lucky when it comes, touch wood, I'm so lucky when it comes to health. You know, now and again, my knees do play up, like anything do if we do things too excessive, you know, not that way. But no, my knees are fine. I am in reasonably good shape for a 56-year-old. DJ says, I'm sure you answered me. I have a block and beam patio which was extended out part of my extension. What's the best way of slabbing this? Well, block and beam. What you want is, DJ, what you want to be able to slurry over the top of those block and beams, because you don't want those blocks to move a little bit. But I would actually put probably some mesh in to make sure that, what's the cost of a bit of mesh? It doesn't have to be a big gauge, but maybe a smaller gauge. John, I don't know what you actually think of that. Always slurry the gardens, work it's hard, it will stick. Yeah, absolutely. John, we've got, where's it gone? There you are. John Ward, DJ says, I'm sure you answered me. I have a block and beam patio which has been extended as part of my extension. What's the best way of slabbing this? Well, what you find is that if you use a block and beam in the house, what they used to do, they used to slurry, and then they would put a screed on top of that as well, and a damp-proof membrane as well, because they didn't want anything coming up through. But I would put a little bit of steel in there. Good advice, thank you. We'll drop you a few pics over. No, Andrew, I'd love to see it, mate. Love to see what you're doing. Thinking easy joint for it. Easy grout just for porcelain. Easy grout for porcelain. I tell you what, Andrew, it's so important that whatever product that you're actually using, and certainly I wouldn't use, well, I don't know, it's up to you, but whatever you're using for sandstone, just work in small areas and making sure everything's well compacted and clean as you go. So important. One of the biggest mistakes that people make by not keeping things clean, and as a result of it, that's where the problems start, by not keeping everything clean. Your tools clean, your van cleans, when you're walking in and out, your boots clean, everything's got to be clean. I don't know what they're talking about there. They're going on each other. I've got to go wander around the garden with with the other half now. Get on with the quotes again. Keep up the good work. Enjoy your videos, and you're an inspiration to many. James, you're an inspiration when you come back with answers that. I really, really appreciate it. And any movement joint in the block and being very wet, very wary as a large deflection. There you are, DJ. Your answer there. Clive Drummond says, sorry, daughter playing up. Speak soon, John. Have a good day. You too, Clive Drummond. Look, the other thing what I wanted to talk about was that for some time now, for me, that I found when we was using the MOT the last few years, there was never enough of the fines, and the fines being the fine aggregate in the MOT Type 1. And as a result of that, I never liked the feeling of some of that loose stone. So what I started doing, I started blinding off, okay? I started blinding off. Phil Shaw's just joined. Morning, Johnyboy. Hope all is well, mate. Phil, I'm good, mate. How are you? Good to see you. Phil, it'd be nice to know where you're from and what you're doing. I've got to move. Apparently, that's steady now, girl. Steady there. She's gone. Phil, I'd like to know where you're from and what you do. Glad you're able to join us this morning. So, I've talked about lean mixes for some time, and I used the word PQC. Probably shouldn't have done it in some respects. It's a civil term, paving quality concrete as a concrete, but I've sort of hijacked that word because I feel that you need a paving quality concrete over your Type 1, simply because what the lean mix will do, and the quality concrete in this case would be a lean mix, and what the lean mix does, okay, and a lot of people, I've had it this morning, and they know who they are. I've had a lean mix, and with the lean mix, it creates a rigid system. Manchester, mainly maintenance and lawn cow pal. Phil, it's great. Love to see some work that you're doing. Thank you for that. So, Phil, if you want to do a shout out now, we have a lot of consumers. If anyone in Manchester is looking to get any maintenance or lawn care done, if Phil wants to drop his number in or his website address or contact details, just have a look. If you're looking for somebody that's good, normally the people tune into these live streams, they are people that care and they want to be there. It's as simple as that. You have me on your Facebook, mate. No, Phil, absolutely. But it'd be great for the viewers on this stream, because we do have the consumer watching. Andrew Callum has joined us. Hi, Andy. How's it going? Just to let you know that the new... What are we having now when it comes to the Mac? I've got to shout out now. This is like Little Britain, this, isn't it? Margaret, Alison, what are we having with the computer? What computer is it? The Apple, anyway. We're having the Apple. A brand new one. Yeah, we're having a new iMac at last. The one we have here, we've had it since 2012. Exactly, John. We are doing it as standard now. John, a PWC with glass fibers in it. Yeah, absolutely. So you can get your lean mix, okay? There we are. DH Garden Services. Morning, John. Wanted to learn how to lay Indian sandstone. Been watching your videos. Love your videos. Well, I don't know where you are, bud. DH Garden Services. Come down and see us and spend a day with us. I was so lucky last week to have Ryan from Crew the week before, and then we had Dan from Ailes Owen come down and work with us. They were great guys. We had such a good time, good fun. Learning on the job is what it's about. We are going down this academy route at some point and offering really good training, but there's nothing better than learning on site. So going back to the lean mix, So I was actually questioned, okay? I was actually questioned about the lean mix and why I was doing it, and people say that it was overkill. But as Mark Gregory says, the world's number one landscaper, Mark Gregory of Landform, absolutely incredible. It's about the belt and braces. So for me, when you're putting that type 1 in, sometimes it's a little bit stony, and what I feel, I like to blind it off. So when they built Palm Island in Dubai, they put those big stones on a GPS system in specific locations, and then they started infilling with the smaller stones as they come up. And that's, for me, that's the way when you're doing a sub base, you start with the bigger stuff and you end up with the smaller stuff going on top. Andrew Callum's talking to Alison now, or the other way around. So it's so important that you find your levels off at each time. But the thing is about the lean mix, okay, you get it with the fibre in, like John said. Michael Davis, good morning. So the thing is about the lean mix, what it does, it basically stabilizes everything, okay? It stops things moving around. And when you're laying, what it will actually do, yes, there's a little bit more time in preparation. There's nothing wrong with an MOT type 1, because that's what they've been using. But in civil terms, what we always do with road building, we always put a lean mix in. Even if it was on the main roads, even if it was on the driveways, even if it was on the footpaths, it was always a lean mix. Yeah, they're talking to each other now. They're having conversation. So I was questioned about the lean mix, but it works, and it works for me. And what it's done, if you spend more time in preparation on each level, then you're going to start reducing the cost and the time in laying the product itself. When I put the lean mix in, I ain't laying no thicker than 50 mil in places. I take my time in preparation and whacking it and compacting it, and it is the way forward. There's no ifs or buts about it. It's the way forward. That's the way it was done. And I really believe that there are a lot of guys that have been in civils that come over to the landscaping side. They do know the job, and they really do, because as long as they've done their bit on the civil side and civil engineering, ground workers doing that stuff, road building, they start to understand when you come over to the landscaping side of things. John Wood says, absolutely, John, to bind the top hardcore up and make it more level and pressure resistant. Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just the way forward. It's belt and braces, in my opinion. You're not doing nothing wrong by laying on an MOT type 1, okay? You're not. But the other thing, apart from stabilizing and creating a rigid system, what you'll find is that your paving will adhere to the lean mix better. It will adhere to the lean mix better. Top notch. Good morning, bud. How you going? Nice to see you. Glad you're able to join us. You joined a bit late, but I'm glad that you're here. Thanks very much for joining. So by using a lean mix, okay, and it's not me that just does it. There's lots of guys do it, you know. But it just so happens that I made a video about it. I made a couple of videos about it, and I think it's just a way forward for me. You don't have to use it. Nothing wrong with you using MOT. But what you'll find is just finished work, top notch. We want to know what you've been doing, bud. You need to tell us what you've been doing, and we need to see a picture of it. Be great if we could post some. Andy Kellum, can people join a live stream? Wouldn't it be nice if they could post a picture? Or maybe it wouldn't. I'm not quite sure if that's a good idea. So anyway, putting a lean mix in with that fibre in, it does work. You're leveling the surface off. You're using less sand and cement if you spend some time doing it, okay? When you're putting a lean mix in, don't panic if you are not compacting it straight away. Try and prep it up because it'll start to go off. But like John Ward says there, and what we used to do years ago, he says we use a spray bottle of SBR over the top as well before laying paving. There we are. So what John's saying there is when you've got your lean mix in and you start your paving, and I always do it on a regular basis now, I mix up some SBR and some water and I spread it over. Okay, top notch. I spread it all over, and what that does, again, it stops the lean mix sucking all the water, all the moisture out of your bedding mix. That's what it's doing. Because delamination happens as many results, and one of the results of delamination of slabs coming up is because they're thin, okay, and because they suck the water up, the massive sandstone just draws the moisture out of the mortar. It just draws it all out, and it's not good at all. So you get rapid evaporation of that water. It's not always good to put too much water in your mixes. So the idea about a lean mix, it's a rigid stabilizing product for your paving, okay? It's going to stabilize it because you get a thing called soil expansion, and people say, oh well, we don't have soil expansion to that degree. Well, I would beg to differ, okay? We're talking about a few bags of concrete, basically, just spread over the top and compacted in with a whacker plate. I'll be using Easy Prime on the back of the slabs. He's got some Andrew Ashford. You've got the Easy Prime, fantastic. Doesn't matter whether you use any other product. I think if you're using a Bridge Bond, it works. They've been using Bridge Bonds for hundreds of years. People don't realise what they've been doing to lay paving, okay? So I've been using a lean mix, okay? It's what I do. So I'll just recap. You're just going to stabilise the area. It's going to be nice and fine. You don't have to use so much mortar. So less cement, less sand, less mixing time, better product. What ratio of cement to ballast? 15 to 1. 15 to 1. That's what I would do that. I have seen on a road build, okay, I have seen on a road build a ratio of, on a lean mix. You are not going to believe this, right? I have seen many years ago the ratio of ballast to cement at 99 to 1. 99 to 1. But what the difference was, it was the compaction of the product. What you'll find is with a lean mix is that it won't fragment. It'll stabilize, but it won't fragment like concrete. The reason that concrete fragments is because of the water element in it and because it heats up. That's why you've got to put steel in it. So the only reason they have wet pours is for ease of placement. Ease of placement with a concrete. With a lean mix, it's not going to fragment and move, but it's going to stabilize the whole area. People don't realize, even in this country, on a geological point, is that there's so much clay in this country, and we do get soil expansion, but we don't notice it, but just enough to cause a problem with the paving. Doesn't mean to say, as a contractor, that you've got to blame your paving failing because of soil expansion, right? It's not because of that, but it can cause a problem. But by putting a lean mix in, just putting, you know, you've got your sub base in and you've left that a little bit lower, and you've run your whacker plate or your compactor plate over it, and compacted it massively, so the compactor, you know it's compacted when the compactor plate is bouncing. Yeah, it's all in my garden. Yeah, I bet it is. I bet it is, Shani. So when your compactor plate is bouncing, you know that it's solid. So that works, okay? But if you want to put a lean mix over the top, okay, you can do. It just makes sure that it's nice and fine, nice and smooth. You don't want undulations in any of your beds, in any of your sub base, in any of your lean mix, and in any of your mortar beds. You need to have them flat. The clay is a nightmare. Absolutely, Shani. Thank you very much for that. 31 live viewers. We've got 15 likes. It'd be good to get another few more likes on this live stream this morning. Going to keep going with this just for a moment. So I was talking about the lean mix. You don't have to do it. Very late, but good morning, John. Martin Maxfield. Martin, good morning, mate. How are you? Good to see you on here. It'd be good to know where you're from and what you actually do. It doesn't matter whether you're a consumer or a contractor. We're all here to help to make the landscaping world a little bit better. I'm going to read some of the... There we are. I got the wrong one. This is the one yes. See, there we are. So let's have a little look about 5 key uses of lean mix concrete. Okay, lean mix concrete. I'm going to go over this, and I'm not getting paid to say this by any concrete company or anything, because this is something that you can actually mix up yourself. Let's have a little read. Just going to tell you who this is from. This is from Mad Mix Ready to Go. Mad Mix, okay, it's a real company. It's an 01954 number. So you can have a little look at there. So 5 key five key uses of lean mix concrete. Wait for this now. Concrete strength is one of the main reasons why it is one of the world's leading construction materials. However, not all concrete is the same, and you can buy different types known as admixtures or specific projects for specific projects. At Madmix, we are leading ready mix concrete suppliers in the Cambridge area. Here we look at 5 of the key applications of lean mix concrete. A lower strength admixture with a reduced cement concrete content. Okay, just going to read that now again. Get rid of that. Just bear with me a sec now, right? So at Madmix, we are leading ready mix concrete suppliers in the Cambridge area. Here we look at 5 of the key applications of lean mix concrete. A lower strength admixture with a reduced cement content, reducing the carbon footprint on this earth. Okay. Nick Wallace says, morning, John. What can you tell us what SBR is? SBR is basically a rubber solution. Okay, a rubber solution. Just going to read this now. So, under foundations, this is what we used to do. Under foundations, laying lean ready mix concrete beneath the foundations of a building will protect them from potentially damaging effects of moisture and chemicals like sulfates, which are present in soil and can cause long-term damage. This type of concrete mix also provides a strong, stable base for the foundations. I'm going to read that again. Just listen to this. This is so important because this is about education, okay? It's about education. Under foundations, when lean ready mixed concrete beneath the foundations of a building will protect from the potentially damaging effects of moisture and chemicals like sulfates, which are present in soil and can cause long-term damage. This type of concrete mix also provides a strong, stable base for foundations. That's why I use it, okay? This is why I use it. Domestic patios, it's there. This is not me. It's there. It's there on the internet. Don't have to believe in what I say. Go and have a look and type in uses for lean mixes. Excuse me a sec. So, domestic patios. This is what I talked about. Domestic patios. A lean mix is excellent at a sub-base in domestic patios as it helps to level off the surface, providing a more stable solution than compacted earth. There we are. People don't even understand what compacted earth actually means. For those who are watching at the moment, I'll lead you in another direction. You need to look at the process of earth rammed walls and how long that's been around, and how they, in modern terms, how they're using this method to build now by reducing the cement content, but the strength is still there through the compaction. That's why we run a compactor plate over a lean mix. Just going to read what it says then on domestic patios again. A lean mix is excellent as a sub-base in domestic patios as it helps to level off the surface, providing a more stable solution than compacted earth. Floor blinding. This is what John Ward and I talked about, blinding over a floor. Floor blinding, as well as being laid under foundation, lean concrete can also be laid over the top of them. This process, which is known as floor blinding, seals in dirt and underlying materials, provides a clean, level, dry and working surface. That's what it does. Thanks again for your time. Enjoy the long weekend. Ben Cooper, no problem at all. So that's what it does. So just want to read that again. Materials and provide a clean, level and dry working surface. That's one of the reasons that I do it, is because we work in this industry in inclement weather conditions, and there's nothing worse when at the end of the day you're spending your time cleaning the road off and the path because of all the mud going out. So the quicker you can get a lean mix into one of your projects, the better it is, the more beneficial it will be for you. I see we've got a few actually dropped off at the moment. We've got 20 likes, absolutely fantastic. So seals in the dirt and underlying materials and provides a clean, level, dry working surface. Curb bedding, okay? Think of this now. Think of the places where they use it in civils, all right? Curb bedding. This style of mix is also known as curb concrete, one of its major uses as a setting agent for paths, pavements, driveways, and similar projects. The concrete helps to protect the bed material from being damaged by moisture, plants, or insects. When the mix is set, it should be hard enough to prevent the slabs or stones from rocking or moving. This is what I'm going to be talking about in the near future. Is that anything okay? That's okay. If you'd like to bring me a cold drink, that'd be absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to read that again about curb bedding. So when you go along and you see the footpaths and the curbs that you see in the roads, the pin curbs, the 10x5s, the drop curbs, the bull noses, this is what they're laid on because it has a benefit. But it's a weak mix, okay? We're helping the planet Earth, okay? It says this style of mixture is known as curb concrete. One of its major uses is setting agents for paths, pavements, driveways, and similar projects. The concrete helps to protect the bed material from being damaged by moisture, plants, or insects. When the mix is set, it should be hard enough to prevent the slabs or stones from rocking or moving. Absolutely fantastic. The other thing, what they use it for is cavity filling. If you ever worked on site in the past, cavity filling is if you have a cavity wall that needs to be filled, possibly for the reasons of insulation, then a lean mix concrete is the best type to use. Always. We used to use it on the oversights years ago. Ready mix concrete suppliers, Mad Mix, ready to. There you go. There you are. There you had it. That is from a company called Mad Mix in Cambridge. Go out and check it out. If you don't believe me, just go online, go on Google. Be careful what you find on Google. You may find something that you don't know or you're not sure about, and somebody's going to be saying something on forums that isn't necessarily correct. So, just a quick recap. Is a lean mix good? Yes, it is. Does it work? Yes, it does. Does it reduce the carbon footprint? Massively, because you're not using so much sand and cement and mixing time with using the cement, using the sand, using the transport, and the mixing time and the carbon footprint if you're using those petrol mixers. We need to use electric. There was loads more that I was going to talk about today. If you've got any questions that you want to put to me, I promise I will try and get back to all of you. Drop us an email at info@greentoplandscapes.co.uk. You can give me a call if you want. Be good to speak to Bradley after this live feed now on 07795 595 994. There's so much to say. We're getting closer as well to the dates. Shani, we will bring some soul over for you soon. But we are getting close to the dates for the walk from Wales to Manchester. If you want to offer some support with me and Eloy, going to be pushing that Avant wheelbarrow all the way to Manchester to raise some money for a lady up there that we should have done a garden for, but we couldn't do it because of COVID. Absolute pain in the backside, real letdown. Get behind me. Just we'll be sharing a link soon. I know you see a lot of those charity things out there, and people that keep asking. This is genuine, honest. Believe you me, it has a valid story. The dogs are barking. Maybe the power trip. That's it. Thank you all for joining. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for all your likes. Absolutely fantastic. Remember, be safe. Don't panic. Don't worry. We are in this together. We are building a community, and we're promoting good dialogue. I haven't had my drink yet. Hey, have a great weekend. Have a really fantastic, relaxing and chilling weekend. See you soon. All the best. Bye-bye.